Chosen one. Stop scrolling for a second. Take a breath. Because if you're hearing this right now, something bigger than coincidence is at work. This message didn't just find you, it was released for you. And not just any chosen one. This is for the ones who have carried more weight, endured more pressure, and survived what should have broken them completely. When I say the strongest chosen one, I'm not talking about titles, platforms, or who looks the most spiritual on the outside. I'm talking about the ones who were forged in silence. The ones whose strength was built in seasons no one applauded. The ones who cried alone, questioned God deeply, and still stayed faithful when it would have been easier to walk away. From early on, you knew your life wouldn't be ordinary. Even as a child, you sensed things other people ignored. You picked up on tension in rooms before words were spoken. You felt emotions that weren't yours. You noticed hypocrisy before you knew the word for it. Adults may have called you too sensitive or too serious, but that wasn't weakness, that was spiritual perception. You didn't just grow up, you woke up early. And because of that, life trained you differently. While others were protected by comfort, you were introduced to pressure. While others blended in, you stood out without trying. While others were allowed to stay asleep, you were pushed into awareness. You experienced rejection that didn't make sense. Friendships that ended abruptly. Family dynamics that felt heavy, confusing, or isolating. And for a long time, you wondered if something was wrong with you. There wasn't. Rejection wasn't a punishment, it was a filter. God used separation to keep you from being shaped by voices that couldn't carry your future. Doors closed not because you weren't enough, but because those spaces were too small for what you were becoming. The strongest chosen ones are often protected by disappointment. If everything had worked out easily, you would have settled too early. Think about it. How many times did life hit you harder than it hit the people around you? How many battles were strangely personal, targeted, repetitive? Every time you tried to move forward, something tried to pull you back. Not randomly, strategically. That's because darkness identifies threat early. Before you fully understood who you were, resistance already knew. That's why the warfare started so soon. Confusion, delay, emotional exhaustion, seasons where it felt like you were doing everything right and still losing. Yet somehow you're still here, still breathing, still seeking truth, still standing. That alone tells a story. The strongest chosen ones don't survive because life is easy. They survive because something unbreakable was placed inside them. Strength like yours isn't loud. It's resilient. Prays even when it's tired. It chooses integrity when no one is watching. Keeps going even when motivation is gone. Another sign, you can't live comfortably out of alignment. You've tried to compromise, to ignore conviction, to numb yourself like others do. But it never lasts. Something always pulls you back. Your conscience is sharp. Your spirit won't let you stay disconnected for long. That's not God being harsh. That's God being intentional. When more is entrusted, more is protected. You're disciplined because you're dangerous when aligned. And then there's the loneliness, the hidden training ground of the strongest chosen. Seasons where it felt like everyone disappeared at once. Calls unanswered, texts left unread. Nights where you had no one but your thoughts. And God. At the time, it felt cruel. But now you're starting to see it for what it was. Preparation. You learned how to stand without validation. How to listen without noise. How to hear God's voice without it being drowned out by everyone else's opinions. The strongest chosen ones are trained to move even when no one claps, to obey even when no one understands. You were also kept from certain paths that looked appealing, relationships that almost worked, opportunities that almost happened, lives that looked easier. You watched others get things quickly while you waited, wondered, and wrestled. But delay wasn't denial. It was development. Your assignment requires precision. Another mark of your strength is compassion that survived betrayal. Even after being hurt, you still care deeply. Even after being misunderstood, you still want to help. People feel safe opening up to you. They tell you things they don't tell others. They sense stability in you, even when you don't feel stable yourself. That's not accidental. That's the presence you carry. And then there's that restlessness. That quiet knowing that ordinary life alone will never satisfy you. You're grateful but not settled. You work, you function, you show up, but something inside you whispers there's more. Not more attention, not more money, more meaning, more impact, more alignment. That restlessness isn't discontent, it's calling. And here's the part you need to understand now. What you're carrying isn't just for you. The strongest chosen ones don't hold small assignments. Your obedience will unlock doors for people you may never meet. Your healing will break cycles in your family line. Your courage will give others permission to rise. That's why the pressure has been so specific, so relentless, so personal. Because when you step fully into who you were created to be, things shift. And this is where the prophecy comes in. Because there is something marked over your life. Not something vague, not something generic, something specific, something intentional, something that required you to be shaped, stretched, and strengthened before it could ever be released through you. That's why the preparation took so long. Many people want purpose, but very few can carry the weight that comes with it. The strongest chosen ones aren't delayed because God forgot them. They're delayed because timing matters when impact is involved. If what's inside you were released too early, it would have crushed you. So heaven hid you while it built you. Every battle you survived was a classroom. Every betrayal refined your discernment. Every season of waiting trained your patience. Every tear strengthened your spirit. Nothing was wasted. You may have received words before. Promises that felt too big, confirmations that excited you and scared you at the same time. And part of you wondered, how could that ever be true when my life looks like this? But prophecy doesn't match your current position. It matches your future capacity. And right now, something is shifting. Pay attention to the patterns, the recurring themes, the same ideas, words, or nudges showing up from different directions. The feeling of urgency mixed with clarity. The sense that a chapter is closing, even if the next one isn't fully visible yet. That's not imagination. That's alignment. The strongest chosen ones feel this shift before it becomes visible. It's like standing backstage before the curtain rises. You're not on the stage yet, but you can feel the moment approaching. And here's the part that requires maturity. Timing demands obedience. When the moment comes, hesitation will be costly. When you're prompted to move, speak, let go, or step forward, you won't have the luxury of overthinking it. Delayed obedience often looks harmless, but it quietly pushes destiny out of alignment. At the same time, not every open door is divine. Some opportunities are tests. Some connections are distractions. Some good things are meant to pull you off the best path. This is where discernment separates the strongest chosen from the merely gifted. You must learn to pause, check your spirit, and move only when there's peace, not pressure. Desperation rushes. Wisdom waits. Fear freezes. Faith moves with clarity. There is authority on your life that you're only beginning to recognize. You're not just someone who hopes things work out. When you speak in alignment, things shift. When you pray with conviction, resistance breaks. When you walk into certain spaces, atmospheres respond, even if no one can explain why. But authority requires alignment. You can't carry uncommon power while living an average standard. Compromise dulls your edge. Disobedience creates static. What you allow into your mind, your spirit, your environment, it all matters. Not because you're being policed, but because you're being prepared. Holiness isn't restriction for you. It's protection. This season requires you to guard your energy fiercely. Not every conversation is safe. Not every relationship is meant to come with you. Some people feel familiar, but every time you leave them, you feel drained. That's not random. That's your spirit signaling misalignment. You don't need to confront everyone. You don't need dramatic exits. Sometimes wisdom looks like quiet distance. Your oil is too valuable to pour into bottomless pits. You also need to get strategic with your time. Distraction is just as dangerous as open sabotage. If the enemy can't destroy you, he'll try to keep you busy, entertained, and unfocused. Hours lost scrolling, energy spent reacting, days consumed by noise. Your time is a weapon. Use it intentionally. Protect your mornings. How you start your day shapes everything that follows. Before the world tells you who to be, ground yourself in who you already are. Even a few minutes of stillness, prayer, reflection, or intention setting can recalibrate your entire day. This isn't about religion. It's about alignment. Watch your inner circle closely. Not everyone cheering you is for you, and not everyone challenging you is against you. Pay attention to how your spirit feels after interactions. Do you feel clearer or confused? Lighter or heavier? Expanded or diminished? Your discernment is sharper than you think. Stop overriding it just to keep the peace. There are people meant to meet you in this next chapter, but they can't find you if you're still holding on to the last one. Releasing the wrong connections creates space for the right alignments. And when they arrive, you'll know. There will be mutual respect, mutual growth, mutual clarity. Still, remember this. No human is meant to replace God as your source. People will fail you. They'll misunderstand you. Some will leave without explanation. If your identity is rooted in approval, you'll always be shaken. But if your foundation is solid, relationships become a blessing, not a necessity. And finally, understand this. The intensity of your life is proportional to the importance of your assignment. Small purposes don't face heavy resistance. Weak callings don't attract focused opposition. The fact that you're still here means something significant is at stake. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not imagining this. You are prepared. If this message confirms something you've always felt but couldn't explain, take a moment and support it. Hit the like button so it reaches others who need it. And if you're ready to keep walking this path with clarity, subscribe and stay connected. Because you weren't chosen to live quietly. You weren't strengthened by accident. And you didn't survive all of that for nothing. The prophecy is real, and you're closer than you think.